there's one thing that's a barrier to entry to all DJs who are trying to make a living out of it and really make money. And that's what I do here on this channel, is try to help and coach people to do that for themselves. I've taken on my first client, my protege, my first one. He's gotten a wedding booked after the first 3 weeks of just working with me. And I'm very excited and proud of him for that. So I'm starting to take on clients, and that's not what this is about. What this is hopefully informing you of something that I've learned that is the biggest barrier to entry for any DJ that's trying to make a living doing this every day, every weekend, whatever you want to do. But if you want to sustain yourself, the biggest barrier to entry is that there isn't one really at all in this profession. So what I mean by that is that there are so many DJs out there, and there's really not anything that's keeping someone who just wants to be a DJ from just buying a controller, downloading some music, and calling themselves a DJ. Like, you just do that. And I mean, you could start booking gigs, and unfortunately, like, clients get not duped, but they get sold by these DJs all the time. And what ends up happening is there's no real barrier to entry in this industry. Think about it, if you want to be like a golfer. Like, that's such an expensive thing to do. So many people are just like, yeah, can't afford that, thanks. But if you want to be a DJ, like, everybody kind of loves music in their own way. You know, a controller, not this one, but like, you know, a entry-level controller, a couple $100, save up, and 15-year-old can buy that. And, you know, you just start working, downloading music, whether it's free or paid or whatever it is. And because of that, you think now that you're able to take on gigs, not you, but that person, and that person then actually goes and is in our now industry. That so are you, right? We're all in the same industry together. So the problem that ends up happening for us that are actually pretty good at what we're doing is that we're lumped in with everyone. You're only as strong as your weakest link. And the weakest link in the world of DJs is just awful. Like, I'm not trying to shame anyone for any reasons. I'm just telling you that I hear so many stories. I did 76 weddings last year alone. I made over $140,000 last year alone. I don't tell you that to brag. I just tell you that to hopefully validate the fact that, like, I know what I'm doing. I'm doing this for a living now for 7 years. And I'm very passionate about it. But when you do 76 weddings and 76 out of 76 times you walk in and the coordinator, the staff, everyone starts talking to you as if you don't have a clue what you're doing, well, there's got to be a reason for that. Think about that. Why in my vendor profession, DJing, does everyone just assume that as soon as I walk in, I'm a huge POS, I'm not really responsible, I'm just there to kind of jam with the music, and I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not trustworthy. Like, you can feel it in the way that the coordinators talk to you. You can feel it in the way that the staff talks to you. It's not their fault. There's a reason for this. They're not like biased against DJs for no reason. They've seen DJs do this and let them down time after time again because DJs who aren't ready yet, there's no real barrier to entry to this. They bought a controller. They started working in their bedrooms, ended up selling. Maybe they've got some pretty good personal skills, and they ended up selling somebody on, oh God, I hope it's not a wedding, but maybe like a party or whatever it is. And then they get there and they're just totally unreliable because you know what they didn't work on in their bedroom was like logistics of how a wedding actually runs and how to be flexible and how to know how to alter what you're doing and go with the flow and change things in the moment, because no live event, if you've done this, you already know this, no live event, no matter how hard you plan, goes exactly how you planned it. Things come up. And that's what you hire a real DJ for, a real vendor in any sense, a photographer, a videographer, anyone. You hire them because they've got the experience to say, oh, okay, well, Aunt Sally isn't here yet and it's time to do those photos. That's okay. Like, we'll do those pictures later. Let's do this now. A good photographer won't freak out because whatever was supposed to happen on the timeline isn't happening right now. Same with the DJ. Like, it's time to do toasts. All right, Uncle Joe's in the bathroom. Well, that's okay. Like, I'm going to be able to stall. I know there's just ways to do that. There's ways to get around that. If you're just like this bedroom DJ who just got started and you get hired by these couples who are trying to go on a budget, it's like this double-edged sword. You've got this industry of DJing where it takes like nothing to get in. So you've got a whole lot of people down at the bottom who have zero experience, think that they're good at it. And unfortunately, another thing that comes down here is a lot of ego for some reason. So they think that they're great, they can do it, they sound great in their bedroom, and then they sell themselves that way. Then on the other end, you've got the client who is trying to save as many dollars as they possibly can. They're pinching, because they already bought the photographer who's like $5,000, the videographer was like $6,000, and the caterer was like $15,000. And then like, oh my God, by the time we get down to the DJ, it's like, dude, I just need somebody who can just like rock out with us. Come on. Do I really need to spend $2,000? No, I'm just going to spend like $800. This guy's quoting me $800 for a wedding. Sure, I'll do it. Let's do that. How bad could it really be? And then you see these epic fail videos that are viral on YouTube like this. I don't want that to happen to you as a client and you as a DJ, or really any DJ in any club, wedding situation, because it happens in the clubs too. There are a lot of DJs, unfortunately, out there making a horrible name for all of us. You're great at what you do. I'm sure you are. I'm great at what I do. It doesn't matter. 76 out of 76 times, I have to start at the bottom of the totem pole. I joke with my family and friends of this all the time. I say, time to go to work again, and got to start from being a piece of shit and work my way up every single time. Here we go again. Because everybody just thinks you're this POS. They think of the DJ they had last night or last week or whoever just left a horrible impression. And that's where they start you at. No matter how good you are, it doesn't matter. They don't care. They just have a stigma now for DJs. And it's out there, believe me. 76 out of 76 isn't a fluke. So when you go to these weddings, please show up, look professional, be early. Do not give these people any reason to think that any of the stuff that they've seen in the past is going to happen tonight when they hired you. That's the biggest thing that's going to set you apart. And I just really hope that you take this to heart, because maybe it's not like this where you're from, but here in Northern Virginia, Washington, D.C., Maryland, San Diego, North Carolina, New Jersey, I went all over the place last year. 76 out of 76. Take that to heart. Use it how you can, because if you can then show up and show that you're on the game and know what you're doing, and you're clear-minded and you're thinking of what needs to happen, and you're forward thinking, like you're thinking ahead and helping out the coordinators and being very helpful to everyone and giving value from the beginning. Oh my God, by the end of the night, they're going to be like, hey, give me your information. I'd love to work with you again. And you get booked and you get booked and you get booked, because you're standing out. It's actually a lot easier to do that because you've got all of the people down at the bottom. But boy, is it really hard every single time you go to an event to remind yourself, oh yeah, they think I'm a POS. Start from there. You know you're not one, but they think that I'm unreliable. Let me show them that they can count on me no matter what the situation is. I really hope this helps. If it does, go ahead, like it, subscribe it, follow me. I'm enjoying this whole process. If you'd like for some coaching, I'm here to help too. I consult for free just for a 20-minute call if you want to just kind of hop on a call and see if it would be right for you. Other than that, if there's anything else I can do to help you out, hit me in the comments and I'm happy to respond. Good luck. Have fun, everybody.